Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Two new knives from Kaiser. Now, at the moment, I don't know exactly when these release, but I will have figured it out by the time I upload this. So, likely if you're watching this the moment it uploaded, or the day that it uploaded, it's probably now. So I will link everything down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to Kaiser for sending these in. Make sure your notifications are turned on for my YouTube channel. Kaiser has been doing a great job of consistently keeping their prices fair. That's something that Kaiser does that not a lot of other companies do, whether we're talking about Chinese knives or we're talking about USA knives. So specifically to new people, if you are confused about which companies are offering the best dollar for dollar value, there's a handful of them, right? And I cover most of them on this channel. Kaiser is one of those companies, and you'll hear this echoed down in the comments. Kaiser is one of those companies that might not release consistently the most ridiculously innovative stuff. Like, they're not like, oh my gosh, like this is a knife and a bicycle. Like, you're probably not from Kaiser. But you are going to get value. You're going to get the materials. You're going to get the performance and stuff like that. They work a lot with a lot of different designers, and they do a really good job. So I just want to point that out here real quick. So we have two, and I think one is premium and one is kind of standard. Let's open the standard one first. So this is the Phoca CC Kaiser AEBL blade Sunset Metal PVD. Sunset Metal PVD. Sunset Metal PVD aluminum handle clutch lock, okay? I'm really intrigued by Sunset Metal. What could that possibly look like? A little zipper or like a little deal. Okay. Sunset Metal. Do you mean do we mean just like flat dark earth or tan? I think so. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically a tan PVD, which is fine. We have an aluminum crossbar lock. We've got a nice clip point blade, or maybe not. You could say Bowie, right? You tell me if this is clip point or if it's Bowie. You tell me, whatever, right? And then you can tell me that I mispronounced Bowie and that it's Bowie, and then I won't change it, and you'll have to hear Bowie from me for the entirety of the extended existence of this channel. Kaiser, and then on this side it says Phoca, AEBL. We have the contoured aluminum scales on top of steel liners, and of course their clutch lock, which, you know, everybody has their crossbar lock now, and it's on like a million different models, and they're all over the place, right? I don't think the crossbar lock's going away anytime soon, and I don't think that it should, because it's obviously very inexpensive to create, and it's strong enough, despite the Omega springs not always being the most reliable things. Like I've said many times, your Omega springs could last 20 years, or they could last one day. It's much more likely they'll last longer than a day, right? I've never personally had an Omega spring break, but I know lots of people who have. So that's a downside to that, but it is ambidextrous, and while the Omega springs are intact, a crossbar lock is actually a very strong locking system as well. We have a pretty basic pocket clip. We have T8 screws, and then we have mounting positions for one side. Kaiser. You're using an ambidextrous locking system. Why would you not offer mounting positions for both sides? This is not a mistake that should be made anymore. Why? Why? If you're going to do that, the only way that it's excusable is if you make a version that is specific for lefties. You have a version here that's an ambidextrous system, but it is only optimized for right-handed people because of the pocket clip mounting position. It's excusable if you make the same thing, but you have a pocket clip mounted on the left-hand side, right? Cue the guy in the background who's like, I like it that way because then I don't have to look at the mounting position. Yeah, okay, but 10% of the population is left-handed. So if I were to like weigh out what I think is more important as a right-handed person, right? Let me weigh out, like, you being slightly, you getting a tummy ache because you have to look, this makes you feel a boo-boo in my tummy. Oh, I have to look at the thing. That versus 10% of people just not being able to mount it like optimally. I would say boo-boo tummy boy can, maybe go do some jumping jacks, and have a, maybe a Capri Sun and take a nap. And then we should probably be catering to, to left-handed people as well. I think that would probably be a better idea. Okay, so anyways, I think this is fine. I mean, this doesn't do anything incredibly special, but again, it's much more than likely that this is, a good, straightforward, general, I say all-purpose, meaning in a general, light to medium duty sense. For a good price. That's probably what we're looking at here, which is great because there's constantly new people flowing into this community. And so while this is probably not geared towards the seasoned knife veteran, it probably is another good option for somebody just looking for a basic cutting tool, which is great. The other one here is going to be their more premium option. This is the Topsail. I feel like almost certainly Jonathan Stiles is the designer. I feel like almost certainly we've seen this before. So we have, what's interesting here, M390 matte DLC Ultra, which they have not clarified what makes this DLC Ultra. And titanium and zirconium handle frame lock, really. Okay. Topsail, titanium and zirconium with DLC M390. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Okay, so this is one of those. Is this in a series? So right off the bat, I love the zirconium inlays. And yes, they are going to be fingerprint magnets. Sure. Oh, it's oil slick too. It's got that little bit of oil slick on it. Yes, they will be, but I'm okay with that. I like that we finally are having some companies screw around with zirconium, and it adds a little bit of weight, but they've made the majority of the scales titanium. It's like a gold anode titanium, which looks great in contrast with the zirconium, kind of the smoky, shiny, oil slick gray. Very, very good in terms of access to the opening hole and the action itself. We also have a nice choke up spot, and we have a mostly fully flat ground blade with a lot of belly. Actually a really good looking knife. I immediately, and it's a cliche for me, and it's also kind of I'm kind of a hypocrite because I always say I wish it was bigger. And then I always default to, I always default to knives that are right around this size when it comes down to my actual carry preferences. So I think what I mean is I wish that there were two versions, this version and maybe a slightly bigger version. But I have to say this version does feel really good in terms of the amount of hand space there is. We have a nice choke up position here. We don't have jimping extended beyond what is meant to be used for the front flipper, which works. I want to see companies stop we're allowing jimping that is only extended down to the point where it's useful as a front flipper. We got to stop doing that. It can go further so that you can make use of it as actual locked out jimping. Right? So many companies are we just stop it where it stops being useful for front flippers. Well, don't. Keep going all the way out to, I'd say, basically where that opening triangle ends. We can't call it a hole. I mean, it is, but it's more triangle space shaped. I'm not sure about Kaiser's M390 heat treatment. I know that a lot of you guys complained about some of their, whatever V steels. They have been hitting those really light. I did a video on a 10V steel from Kaiser, and I thought it was really cool, and they, it seemed like a really good value, but I didn't know what their HRC range was, and people were telling me in the comments that their HRC range was low. So I think Kaiser needs to check that, and also, I'm not sure what Kaiser's HRC range is for M390. As I always say, industry standard for M390 should be at least 60 to 62. It should be, basically, it should be 60 plus, right? So if a company lists their range at 60 to 61, I'm okay with that, right? I say 60 to 62 by default, but not because I need the top end of the range to be 62. I'm saying it needs to be at least bare minimum 60. 59 HRC M390 is kind of a joke, so it needs to be higher than that. And I would hope that it would be, at least that. So both of these knives in the medium-sized knife range. The Topsail, 7 1/8, and the other guy, which I've forgotten the name, the Phoca, is probably 7 on the dot. Yeah, 7 on the dot with a 3-inch blade. Okay. Interesting stuff from Kaiser. Some cool, if they get this under 200, this would be phenomenal. I have a feeling it's not going to be under 200, but if I looked up the price and saw that this was $199 or $189, I'd be blown away. DLC M390 with a titanium frame and zirconium for that. I'm going to guess that they hit this at 220 to 240, but you know, where it would really blow my socks off is 190 to 200. We'll see. I don't know. This is just an unboxing and first impression, so I hadn't, I didn't know what they were, so I don't look up the prices before I do these videos. I do that when we do the reviews. So anyways, that's going to be it today, guys. Thanks again to Kaiser for sending these in. I'll link them down in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.